Remember when you get invited to an interview or you get invited to speak on the issue of depression, that you are not there just to answer questions from a reporter or just to cover certain points that somebody asked for you to cover. What you're doing is you are spreading a very, very critically important message. So know your message and go into anything where you're speaking, anytime that you're interacting with media, and go into it with the full knowledge that you have an important message to spread. You have an important message that you want to go to the masses. And media is certainly a wonderful opportunity and a wonderful way to spread a big global message. Let's just say that you're actually called for an interview as an expert, as a witness, as anything that's relating to the issue of depression. What do you do? So first and foremost, one of the things that I always say is that reporters are professionals. I consider myself a professional, and I work with professional reporters regularly. You are also a professional. You're a professional in your jobs, in your home, but you're also a professional when you're talking about this issue. And so when you're talking about depression and you're called in and a reporter has made a call to you and you have a message on your phone or you have an email, do make sure to respond quickly. And I say that because they are working, reporters, under extremely tight deadlines. And so if you treat them as professionals, knowing full well that they have a lot of material that they need to pull together, they have a lot of work that they need to do, responding to them quickly, I could say that probably 50% of my best reporter contacts most appreciate me because I am very quick to respond. I'm very quick to tell them whether or not I can do the interview or I cannot do the interview, because that helps them sort of plan for their day. So point number one when you're called for an interview is to respond quickly. Number two is to be prepared. Be very prepared, and this will come with time and practice, and you will feel prepared walking into an interview without a lot of legwork. But in the beginning, you certainly want to do it. Being prepared could mean returning that phone call to the reporter and getting all the critical information that you need. Ask all the right questions. If it is a print story, find out what their angle is. Same for broadcast, actually. You want to also find out the angle. If it's broadcast, radio, or television, you're going to want to know how long it is. You're going to want to know if there are other guests. Sometimes they're going to bring someone on with a counter opinion to your own, and you're going to want to know that, so you're going to know how to prepare. Will there be a break in between your segments? Just how long will you be there? What's their angle? Other is, who's the reporter? Who's the actual reporter? Sometimes you're talking to a booker or a producer in a TV station or a radio station. In that case, you're going to want to know who's actually going to be conducting the interview. You want to do your research. You want to look up those reporters, just Google their names. A lot of newspapers and television stations and the like consistently now are listing the reporters and then listing the links to their stories underneath it. So it makes it much easier for you to figure out sort of what their angle is. But do that, because that will help you to be prepared. I tried to think of a question that you would never want to get asked in an interview. And the one question that you don't want to get asked is the one that you are not prepared for. It's going to be the one that you didn't expect. So part of your legwork is really sitting down and asking yourself your own Q&A. What would somebody ask me? You know, I worked for members of Congress for several years, and one of the things that we did is we would do a Q&A or a myth and fact. We would do something where they would feel very prepared in whatever issue it was that they were covering. So that's one thing is you can do on your own is write down a question that you think they might ask and then write out your answer. Speaking of writing it out, you're going to want to have no more than 5 points, but ideally 3 main points that you're going to want to cover. And you're going to want to write them down. Writing them down cements them in your brain, gives you something you can look over, recheck, hold in your hand on a card if you need to, but have 3 points that you cover in every single interview. And I always treat it like a triangle. So if you think of something as a triangle, you have 3 message points on each of the legs. And anytime you're asked a question, you want to bounce that question off of one of those message points every single time. Take every question and use it to bring your 3 points back into the conversation, no matter what the question is. And you can analyze the news, and you can see who is stellar at doing this and who is not so good. And it's people who get off track. But some people, sometimes you're thinking, did they answer the question? And the reason you don't know is because they're using the method that they have a message to spread, that they have message points that they want to make, and they are making sure that every question they are responding with one of those points.